Okay, so today I'm going to be doing some leaf printing, eco printing I think it's called. And so I saw a couple of videos online showing how to do it, and so I'll put the links to those two videos that I watched, the two ladies, and in the spirit of YouTube I shall continue with the pooling of knowledge, because I'm going to do it a slightly different way and see what happens. So I've been into the garden and I've collected various different leaves and flowers, and oops, I'm not sure how any of them are going to work, but I'm going to have a go. Oh, that smells lovely, that lavender. Anyway, I've got various different leaves, including this rather beautiful, I can just get it out, this big one. I won't get the whole thing on, but this is from a globe artichoke, which are just amazing plants. They're just huge, the leaves. Anyway, and I've got watercolour paper. I've got a mix of papers actually, just to see how they work. I've got an old, I'm wondering what it would look like on printed papers. It'll be fun to find out. So this is from a very old dictionary, so it'll be interesting to see what the ink does and everything, so it may or may not work. This is an old French textbook, and the page is quite thin, so it might fall apart. And this is from an old boys' annual, and this paper is very thick and porous. It's a bit like watercolour paper, so this might do well. We'll have to see. And then this is another French textbook. I don't know why I've got lots of French textbooks. I find them quite fun actually, because I love the illustrations. They're very sort of French and interesting. So anyway, I've got these various papers and the leaves, and I've got this, let's put it into shot. This is going to be my press. I've got 3 bits of wood at the moment, but I'm thinking I'll probably only use 2, because look, this is right at the extreme of its range, so I need to be able to get some layers in there, so we'll see how we go. And I've got a massive pan that I found from the garden, so I'm all set. So I will come back when I've got it loaded and I'll show you what it looks like. I'm going to put them all variously on the page, and yeah, it takes a bit of time, so I'll come back when I've done that. So, as you can see, I've made my sandwich of leaves and flowers. Some of them are hanging out. It was quite difficult to keep them in place as I got the different layers. But anyway, it's all an experiment, so we'll see. So what you have to do is, I found, I discovered 2 things, is that it's best to have it so that the turning bit is on the top, and you need to turn one and then you turn the other one. You keep doing it so that it does it evenly, because as you tighten one side, the other side gets loose, so you just keep going round. And then it's ended up, I think that's quite good, it's quite solid. So I'm just hoping that these will be okay being boiled. I asked my husband and he said it was okay to boil them, but when I've finished I've got to re-oil them apparently. So yes, I don't want to upset hubby by using his special tools. But anyway, so now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in a big pan, big old pan. I'm going to find a few rusty bits and pieces if I can, to go in with it, and set all that up, and then I'll give you a quick look at what that looks like. Okay, so as you can see, it's in the big pot and it's just starting to bubble. Yeah, it's getting hot, so I weighted it down with a bit of a brick, but actually the clamps themselves were weighting it down quite well, so that was good. But I was a bit disappointed because I searched through the garage and I couldn't find anything rusty. I mean, all I could find were these rusty nails. That's all I've got. So I'm going to put them in. A few more. And we've also got a pot of old pennies. Well, not pennies, they're 10 cents. So I was wondering, maybe they'll do something? I don't know. So anyway, I'll put them in. So it'll be interesting to see what colours come out, and if any, and whether it works. I've put white vinegar in. A cup of white vinegar has gone in as well. So yeah. So I'll see you in an hour and a half's time. So I was going to show you me taking these pages out of the wooden press, but I had to do it in the garage and I couldn't figure out a way of filming it down there. Yeah, but what I will say is that I'm glad I did it in the garage, because it was quite messy, and the dye, I mean the pages come out and they're dyed, and the dye is sort of running about, and you need to just gently rinse the pages with water, and then you're going to need a place where you can lie all the pages flat while they dry, and it needs to be somewhere that it doesn't matter if it gets stained. So hence, that's why I was in my garage. But anyway, I ended up doing 2 batches, and of course it's all a big experiment, and that's the fun of it really. But I'll show you what I learned. So I'll do the first batch first. This is the first batch, and I couldn't find a lot of rust. I just put a few rusty nails in, if you saw it on the video earlier. And so anyway, this is what I got. This paper was just kind of cartridge paper, and it didn't take very well at all. So yeah, it's fairly interesting, but no. This one, the dictionary page, well, yeah. I'm not too impressed with that either. I mean, yeah. So that one's a bit of a no. This one, the French textbook, well, this is a little bit better. I can see a little bit of the leaf outlines, but it is, again, it's not brilliant, and it was so thin it started to deteriorate. So that's something to watch for. When you're opening your pages, you've got to be so careful and patient, because the paper's wet and it will tear. So now this is the watercolour paper, and yeah, loads better. You definitely can see a leaf there, but I think this demonstrates that I think that I had my press squeezed too tight. I just kept on tightening it, and in some ways I think that was a mistake, because I guess the water can't move around, so you need a sort of happy medium really. You need it firm but not over tight, and you can see I did it over tight because you can see the grooves. I don't know if you can see this. there's like a groove in the paper, and you don't really want that. I think some people iron their pages, and I might try that to see if I can get rid of that. So, whoops. So yes, varying degrees of success. This one's quite lovely. And again, on this one you can see the grooves where it was over tightened, but you can see some leaf patterns happening. So I was pretty excited when I saw these, and I thought, well, I'm going to have another go. And so I did. Now, this second batch I think has come out better. And the thing I did differently was I didn't over tighten it, and I put quite a bit of rust in there because we found this old metal stake that was covered in rust, and we hit it with a hammer and it knocked off chunks of rust. So I put that in, exactly the same, half a cup of vinegar and boiling it, and this is what came out, and I think it's a lot better. So also I discovered that rose leaves are rather good. I mean, these are the rose leaves. And I got different colours with this. I got some yellows. So there you can see a big maple leaf there. Now this was actually wallpaper. You just see some of it, which was kind of a mixed blessing, because look at it, it's really taken. The leaf patterns have really, look, it looks like a forest floor. But what happened was, you can see here it's really gone thin, is because the back of it came off and it actually stuck to the wooden block, because I had it as the first layer. So yeah, watch out for that if you're using wallpaper. I think what I'll do next time is I will kind of wrap it inside a piece of watercolour paper so that if the back comes off it doesn't matter. But I was quite pleased with that. Ah, look at this one. It's lovely. I just love this, what's happening here. All the different designs and the leaf. See, sometimes it does the pattern of the leaf and sometimes it's like a sort of, what do you call a stencil? It acts like a stencil. And it just creates these glorious patterns. And of course, it's very much a mixed bag, so this one wasn't so good. So sorry about that, I had a bit of a glitch on my recording then. I don't know why, it's been a bit glitchy today. So here is another page, and I'm hoping that you can see this clearly. It's worked really well. You can see the different types of leaves, and I find it works well when you layer the leaves. So I was just kind of mixing it up really just to see what came out, and I definitely got a better result with more rust. I think that's what was giving more sort of dye colour. I'm not entirely sure whether it acts as a mordant or whether it's the vinegar that does that, although I read somewhere online that the vinegar brightens the colours. So yeah, but look, it's so cute. It's very kind of organic, and yes, and this one, and I love this one. And that, I think that was a ginkgo leaf, but I can't be sure because when you come to take the leaves away, some of them have kind of moved and some of them are just disintegrated. So it is, you know, a real experiment every time. I think this is another rose leaf. They did come out well. And the other one that came out well, I can't see one at the moment, but that was geranium leaves. They seem to work quite well. Of course, I can't find one now to show you. Oh, come on. Well, we just have to take my word for it. The geranium leaves, they work well. And Well, it's a question of just finding what leaves you've got around and just experimenting with it and having some fun. So anyway, I hope this has helped you learn the technique, and if you have a go at it, leave a comment and a link and have a look. Share some pictures and any tips that you pick up. Let's share and improve on this fascinating technique. So if you've enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, and maybe you'll subscribe, because I'll be doing more videos like this with different techniques and things that I discover. So look forward to seeing you there. Okay, bye for now.